Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the sonnets, and today we've got sonnet number 29, which goes, "When in disgrace with fortune and men eyes, I, all alone, beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy, contented least. Yet in these thoughts, myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate, for thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings." So another love sonnet, but it starts out talking about depression. It starts out, I'm sure that we've all been there before. You know, you're having a really hard time at work, or you didn't get cast in something that you wanted to be cast in, and you're feeling bad about yourself, and you're cursing your fate and cursing your existence and wishing that you looked more like that person, or had that person's skill, or had that person's bank account, or whatever. When you're sitting, you're comparing yourself to everybody else and finding yourself to be lacking in all of those categories. But then you take a moment and you think about the person that you love, and you feel so full of joy at that love, and so lucky to have that love, that all of a sudden you wouldn't change anything about your current circumstances. That's what this sonnet is all about. It's fairly straightforward, fairly simple. Some of the analyses that I read talked about the fact that there's actually sort of a couple little flips in this. Some people would break it down into like 3 parts instead of 2 parts, like a before and after. But all of that aside, if you want to dig that deep into the technicalities of how the sonnet was written, you're welcome to. One analysis that I read said that this might have actually been written, they don't know exactly when it was written, but theoretically, had it been written during a plague in like the mid 1590s, whatever, when all the theaters were shut down, that might speak to some of Shakespeare's depression at this time and feeling bad about himself because he wasn't able to be on stage. And for any of you theatrical people out there who have just gotten through the whole COVID thing and theaters being shut down, maybe you can relate to that. Or maybe you relate to just in the middle of your day, if you're having a bad day, think about the person that you're in love with, and suddenly your world is a little bit brighter. That's what this one's about. So anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for sonnet number 30. Mwah.